What Africa Conformity Bridge is all about is basically helping original equipment manufacturers or factories that produce electrical products to gain access to various markets across the world, South Africa being one. So for instance, if somebody wants to import a cell phone from China into the South African market, it will have to comply to certain technical regulations as according to ICASA, which is the regulatory body for wireless communication devices and telecommunications in South Africa. So most clients do not have the know-how on how to comply to such regulations. So that's where we fit in. We basically help them to gather the necessary documentations such as test reports, inspection reports, as well as other technical documentations. And we handle the process from end to end. So we basically gather the documents, evaluate them, and make sure that they comply to ICASA requirements, and eventually submit it to ICASA for approval. So once the approval is done, then the customer gets their certificate, and then they can import their products. So the other aspects are with regards to safety of non-telecommunication devices. That's, for example, your home appliances. Those also need to comply to safety regulations. They need to be safe to use by the consumer, meaning they mustn't shock you by any chance. And if it happens that there's a short circuit and they explode, the explosion should be contained in a certain way such that it doesn't cause fire in a building. So those are the type of safety aspects that South Africa, through the National Regulator of Compulsory Standards, is looking after. With regards to that aspect of the business, we gather the necessary documentation from test labs, and we help the original equipment manufacturer to import the products into South Africa. There's also another interesting aspect which is called electromagnetic interference. Every electrical product has abilities to emit electromagnetic waves. Now, according to the EMC standards, this type of emissions should not exceed a certain level. Once the waves exceed a certain levels, then it means the other devices around that particular equipment which is emitting the waves are at risk of being damaged or interrupted from operating as according to their designs. And you can imagine this happening in a hospital during an operation, a really serious operation in theater, and somebody's phone which was not tested for EMC then emits these waves and interferes with the equipment used by the doctors to save a life. So that's how far it can go. So with regards to that, we also help clients locally as well as those that want to import products into South Africa that fall within the SABS EMC scope. We also assist those type of clients to get the necessary certification for those products. This is with regards to product compliance. Now, the other services that we offer are consultancy services with regards to quality management systems. And for example, your ISO 9001 is one of the most commonly used quality management systems out there. We basically consult with clients to help them build a quality management system that meets the requirements of ISO 9001. In some cases, we find that there are clients that have the system already. So in those cases, we help them to improve the system so that they can go on to the next step, which is being certified by a third party. So that's the type of consulting that we do in terms of quality management systems. We have partnered with various expertise in other management systems such as your occupational health and safety, environmental management system, as well as food safety management systems. Another aspect is a bit similar to quality management systems, and this consultancy is with regards to test labs. We help test labs that have newly been established and we basically help them to comply to a standard called ISO 17025. Once the client has complied to their ISO 17025 standard, we then take them to the next level, whereby we invite the South African National Accreditation System to come and audit them to ensure that they do comply, and if they do, this test lab will then be accredited, meaning they will be listed in the South African National Accreditation System database. Now this gives them added advantage in so many ways. They are recognized nationally, they can be used by overseas clients as well, and they can test as according to their scope. They can test and issue reports that can be recognized worldwide. As part of our electrotechnical scope, we also cover energy efficiency requirements. Electrical products consume quite a lot of energy and or electricity from the grid. There are certain standards that these products must meet to ensure that they don't consume a lot of power. And in most cases, for example, your TVs, they go into standby mode if they are left alone for a couple of minutes. Once it goes into standby, it lowers the power consumption and therefore saves electricity in the end. So this goes across your refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, heaters as well as other electrical appliances that you plug into your wall to get power. So what we do in this instance is we make sure that those products are tested according to the South African national standards for energy efficiency, and they comply. And once they comply, we then put together the necessary documentation and submit it to the national regulator for compulsory standards to ensure that they issue a certificate of approval for energy efficiency for those products. We are tapping into offering training for various ISO standards and management systems, as well as conformity assessment activities. So this will be training with respect to ISO 9001, 17025, 17065, which is product certification, and 17020 for those that want to get into the inspection body industry, as well as basic consumer training, meaning we basically educate the layman, if I may put it so, about product safety. When they go shop, what is it that they need to be informed about before they buy the particular product?